Hey, what's up, guys? It's Sports Blitz here, and we're back with another NFL mock draft. Before I get into it, I just wanted to mention on the night of the draft, at least the first round, I'm not entirely sure about second round yet, but at least during the first round, I'm going to be doing a live stream on my channel, doing, like live reactions to the picks, talking about picks with you guys in chat. So make sure to tune into that. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Again, I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to be doing day two yet. It's going to kind of depend on how the live stream for day one goes first. But yeah, definitely make sure to tune into that. Also, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. We're kind of aiming for 1,800 subs as soon as possible. Really, if we could hit that before the draft, that'd be absolutely awesome. But let's go ahead and get on into it. We're going to do just one round a day, no trades. I do think there will be trades during the draft, but I don't know exactly what all to predict. So let's go ahead and get on into it. Starting off with the Tennessee Titans, I believe they're locked into Cam Ward. I would be pretty shocked if on draft night they don't end up taking Cam Ward right here. Number two, the Cleveland Browns, I have for the longest time really been believing that they're taking Abdul Carter to pair up with Myles Garrett. Lately, the talk has really been more so Shador Sanders and Travis Hunter. I think I'm gonna go ahead and entertain a Travis Hunter pick this time. I do still believe Shador Sanders is very, very much on the table here. I don't think it's out of question. But yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. For the Giants right here, I think they should take quarterback. I really do. And honestly, I feel like this is the type of situation that they could afford to maybe trade down a few spots. Like, if, say, like the Jags want to come up and get Abdul Carter, jump the Patriots or something, like, the Giants could definitely afford to do that and still be able to get a guy like Shador Sanders over, like the Raiders. And I don't know, it's hard to say. I don't know if the Raiders are necessarily even going to be in the market for a quarterback right here because of the Geno Smith trade, but I'm kind of yapping on at this point. I think I'm going to go ahead and go Shador Sanders for the Giants right here. I really think they need to get their quarterback situation figured out. And I think now that they have Russ and Jameis Winston, like, they can afford to have Shador Sanders sit for a year or two and have, Russ kind of hold down the fort until then. Actually let Sanders develop and kind of build the team in the meantime while he's developing. Like, you know, put him into a good situation. Let him develop for a year before throwing him into the fire. So I think that'd be a good pick for the Giants here. Number four, I'm not gonna let the Patriots pass up on Abdul Carter. I think it just makes too much sense. We know Mike Vrabel's a defensive guy. Abdul Carter's the best player in the draft, in my opinion, especially best defensive player. I think it makes too much sense there. For the Jags here, I'm gonna lock in Mason Graham. I mean, that's kind of one of them that has been a lock, in my opinion, for quite a while now. I don't think they're taking anybody but Mason Graham. For the Raiders here, I'm going to go ahead and have them go ahead and snag Ashton Genty. I mean, I know they got Raheem Mostert in free agency. He's like 30, 31 years old now. I don't think he's going to be playing at a high level for that much longer. Ashton Genty's a blue chip prospect. I could definitely see Pete Carroll wanting to get him. And honestly, like, I honestly see a decent amount of Marshawn Lynch in Genty. I really do. I could definitely see Pete Carroll wanting to get a new Marshawn Lynch, if you will. So, Jets on the board here. I think we go ahead and snag Tyler Warren. Go ahead and get another weapon there for Justin Fields. You know, between Tyler Warren and Garrett Wilson, I think those are some pretty decent weapons for Fields, as well as, like, as long as Breece Hall can stay healthy so they have a good run game too, that offense could be taking a good step forward from last year. For the Patriots here, or Panthers, excuse me, I'm going to be going with Jalen Walker out of Georgia. I think he's going to go a lot higher than a lot of people predict. I've even seen some people potentially putting him in the top 5, which I don't think is really that outlandish. I love Walker. I've watched his tape time and time again. He's going to be an amazing player in the NFL. Like, he really is. I would definitely start banking on him right now. Saints. This is a tough spot for the Saints since we're not doing trades, because sounds like Derek Carr may possibly be out for possibly the whole year now. So at this point, it's like, okay, so Shedeur Sanders is off the board now. It is definitely too early to be reaching on Jackson Dart or Jalen Milroe. I think at this point you kind of have to go Teteroa McMillan. Give Spencer Rattler the best chance possible here, I guess. You could argue maybe Will Campbell there as well, but I don't know. You gotta figure something out right there. Maybe the Saints can snag Milroe or maybe even Dart in the second round. We'll see. But Bears on the board now. I think at this spot, honestly, I think Will Campbell has to be the pick. Yeah, I think you got to give Caleb Williams as much protection as possible. They already did a good job at fixing the interior O-line. Now get the tackles fixed up now too. And that's going to be a good O-line for quite a few more years. Niners are also in a spot that I feel like they need to fix the O-line now. So let's go Armand Membu out of Missouri. For the Dallas Cowboys, I'm actually going to go with Jahdae Barron here. Pair him up with Trayvon Diggs, and even Deron Bland too. I think he can honestly turn into Dallas's number 1 corner. And the only reason I say that is because it kind of feels like Trayvon Diggs is taken a couple steps back because of the injuries. And I don't know, like, I like Will Johnson a lot too. Will Johnson's actually my number 1 corner in the draft, but I feel like Barron fits what Dallas wants to do better, you know? Dallas has kind of been more of a zone defense type of scheme. And Will Johnson, I feel like, tests out at more of a, man press corner, similar to like a J.C. Horn, if you will. Barron, I think, is going to be better in zone, which is, kind of what Trayvon Diggs is also good at. So, kind of keep doing the same type of defensive thing they've been doing and just get better. So, for the Dolphins here, I'm going to go Malachi Starks. Been saying time and time again, an amazing player in this draft. I know people don't really value safety all that much anymore, but Starks is an elite prospect. Colts on the board here. Gonna go Jahad Campbell. I've already talked about this several times in my past mock drafts. I think Colts fans are on the same page as me and want an elite middle linebacker there. Kind of fix up the defense since the loss of Darius Orshak Leonard. Really get an elite linebacker there. For the Atlanta Falcons, I think we go pass rush right here for Mike Green. Really shore up that edge spot. Arizona Cardinals on the board, go Will Johnson. They kind of did a good job at fixing up the pass rush in free agency when they signed Josh Sweat. And I've said multiple times on this channel that was a really good contract. For the Cardinals, I expected Josh Sweat to get more than $20 million a year. He got like 19.1. I don't remember the exact number, but 19 point something. I think that was a good contract. So now they can go corner, and Will Johnson's an amazing pick right there, in my opinion. For the Cincinnati Bengals, what edges are still available? So we got James Pierce. I do like Aziruaku. Sorry, I suck at pronouncing that name. But I don't think we want to take him quite this early. I think we end up actually going Kenneth Grant instead, out of Michigan. Seahawks on the board. This is one of those picks that, like, Seahawks fans complain about every single pick I make for them. I think Tyler Booker makes the most sense because their interior O-line has really been garbage ever since losing Damian Lewis. And I don't know. Some fans want to talk about scheme for the interior O-line. And I get it to a point. But at the end of the day, you kind of got to just take the best, player available to fill that need, I think Tyler Booker is one of those prospects that you don't want to just overthink and take a lower quality player just to fill the scheme need. Tyler Booker is going to be an amazing interior O-lineman, and I think he's the best interior O-lineman in this draft. So I think it'd be kind of dumb for the Seahawks to pass on that. Bucks on the board, and I think we're going to have them go ahead and take James Pierce Jr. out of Tennessee. Broncos on the board, going to have them take Matthew Golden, because I actually do have him graded higher than Luther Burden. Steelers up now. Steelers fans might not like this, but I'm going to have them go Omarion Hampton right here. I do not feel good about the Steelers running back situation, and I feel like they have a late enough pick that for their second round, I'm not sure a guy like Judkins or Travion Henderson are going to be available there. And Hampton's an elite prospect. Like, he really is. If this draft didn't have a guy named Ashton Genty in it, Hampton would easily be the number one prospect here. I know the Steelers like to fill the trenches, and normally I would go Walter Nolan right there. But I mean, if Omarion Hampton falls into their laps, like, get an elite run game, okay? Especially with the questions that they have at quarterback already. Like, at least with an elite run game, you can take some pressure off a quarterback and at least get by with mediocre quarterback play. If you have a bad run game on top of it, the offense is just going to be absolute garbage. So I think you got to go Hampton right there. For the Chargers, I'm actually going to have them snag Luther Burden right there. I think a pairing with him and Lad McConkey would be really, really nice. Another option right there for him is Colston Loveland, but I think Burden is ultimately going to do more good for their offense than Loveland would. Packers on the board. I think I'm going to go ahead and have them take... I think they've got a lot of really solid options, but I don't know that they have any, like, amazing, like, we have to take this player type of options. I think I'm going to go ahead and give them... I'm going to give them Donovan Eziraku. I know that sounds a little bit early for him, but you watch the tape. He's explosive. He's bendy. He's going to be good at getting to the quarterback in the NFL. And the Packers need some good pass rush. I think that'll end up being a solid pick. For the Vikings right here, I'm going to go ahead and give them Nick Emenwari. I don't know why PFF has him graded so low. I think that's absolutely insane. But yeah, Nick Emenwari right here to the Vikings. Texans right here, I'm going to go ahead and have them take Emeka Egbuka out of Ohio State. Reunite him with CJ Stroud. Sorry, I forgot his name for a second. Rams on the board now. Let's go Kelvin Banks. Give them an elite tackle right there. Ravens up now. I think we go Michael Williams. I think he's a good fit in that type of scheme right there. Lions up now. Let's go... I think we go Shamar Stewart right here. Commanders... I'm actually going to go Walter Nolan this time to be the Jonathan Allen replacement. Normally Walter Nolan's off the board, and I'd actually go Derek Harmon, but Nolan is there, and I think he's the better prospect. I think it just makes too much sense. Bills up now. So I'm not loving the remaining availability for, like, edges right here. I'm kind of wondering, what do we think about potentially Colston Loveland right here? I know they have, what's the tight end's name? He's out of Utah. He was a really hyped up prospect that has kind of been a little disappointing. I can't remember his name for some reason. I know they have him, and I know they have Dawson Knox. Knox has kind of taken a little bit of a step back, though, in my opinion. Colston Loveland, I think, could be a really good tight end right there, and you pair him up with the other guy, again, out of Utah. I can't remember his name. It's not coming to my brain for some reason. I think that'd be a solid pairing. Otherwise, I don't know. Do you reach on a guy like Winston? Or maybe go Trey Amos? Get a good corner here? I'm going to think about this one, and I'll meet you guys back in a second. All right. So I think after thinking about it, I'm actually going to go ahead and have them take Derek Harmon. I feel like fixing the interior D line right here really help them stop the run is going to be good right there. I thought about maybe having them reach on like Kevin Winston or Andrew Makuba. I don't think they're going to be first rounders. I think they're going to be, early to mid second rounders, but not first. I couldn't do that. I think Derek Harmon makes too much sense for them. And I really gave Colston Loveland a lot of thought right there. But I think at the end of the day, that tight end from Utah, I mean, he's only going into year 3. I think it's year 3 now. Like, give him some more playing time. Give him time to develop more. Like, I think the kid's gonna be okay. That said, I think I'm gonna go ahead and give Colston Loveland to the Chiefs right here. Normally, I would go offensive line 100%, and give them Josh Simmons or Gray Zabel, but Colston Loveland can really be a long-term Travis Kelce replacement, and you know how that system likes to use tight ends. So, I think it makes too much sense. Eagles now will go Gray Zabel. He can play interior O-line at a very, very high level. I know they traded, what was his face? The safety. Gardner Johnson. I know they traded C.J. Gardner Johnson away for, was it Kenyon Green? Yeah, not a fantastic trade in my opinion for them. And normally right here, if Nick Emmanwori was on the board, I would take him and have him be the safety replacement. But really, like, Gray Zabel is going to start over Kenyon Green. I really do. He's going to be that Mekhi Becton replacement and honestly be even better at that spot. I love Zabel as a prospect. He's another guy that I could see going a lot higher than some people expect. Kind of be one of those guys that you hear get called earlier in the first round and everyone's shocked, like, why did he go that early? And gonna end up playing like an all-pro, He's gonna look like another one of Howie Roseman's elite picks. So, yeah, let me know what you thought of this mock draft in the comment section below. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of disagreement there, so just kind of keep it on the down low with that. Yeah, if the comments get too angry, like, just flat out not gonna respond to you guys. But otherwise, like, I can handle disagreements. If you guys want to talk about, stuff in the draft you disagreed with, I'll, happily, you know, happily give my 2 cents on all that stuff. But just a reminder, again, guys, draft night, gonna be doing a live stream. Again, I can't stream the actual draft itself. That is illegal. I can't do that, but I will stream my, live react to it, talk about the picks in, chat and everything. If we get enough people, maybe I'll think about, potentially doing, a Discord call. We'll see about that. I'm still kind of undecided on that part, but yeah, make sure to come out for that. I think that should be a lot of fun. Once again, smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Later.